Good evening, Ishan.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so hi, Ishan, and
Hello.
welcome to your session today.
Yeah.
This is, I think you're meeting me for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before I tell you about myself, tell me about yourself, Ishan.
Oh, okay. Um, okay, if I say favorite subject, it's just languages, geography, and science. Well, not exactly science, but English as well.
English is your favorite subject?
I don't really have a favorite subject. It's just the mix of all those.
Okay, so you have English, science, and geography in grade 10. You're in grade 9 or grade 10?
Yeah, grade 9.
Grade 9. Okay. And you have maths also, I guess?
Yeah, maths.
Okay. So what's your favorite subject of all your subjects, Ishan?
Um, okay, this is probably gonna be very unexpected, but it's probably languages.
Okay. So you like languages. Good.
Yeah.
And I can see a beautiful temple at your background.
Yeah.
Okay. So you believe you do uh, all some pujas and all? You like doing all this?
My parents mainly do that, not me, but I
Okay.
do help.
Okay. So your mom does it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And where do you stay? From which part of Australia do you come, Ishan?
New South Wales.
New South Wales. Okay. And I think, is it cold over there? I have few more students. Uh,
Right now it's okay. So in the afternoon it gets a bit hot, but most of the day it's cold.
okay. So it's cold most of the days. Okay.
Yeah.
It's winter season right there now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you belong to Australia or do you belong from India?
Okay, so I'm born in Australia, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you are born and brought up in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ishan. Okay.
Yes.
So, you know about me. You must have got my name. My name
Yeah.
is Jyoti. Okay,
Yeah.
Jyoti Samani. I'm from India, from Kolkata, West Bengal. Have you been to India?
Yes.
You have your grandparents living here in India?
Yeah, they do.
Did you? Which place?
They live in Kerala.
Oh, okay. Well, so you have been to your native place?
Um, I don't exactly remember, but I do know I went to this place called Kanyakumari, and then I went up to Gujarat, and then some other place I forgot the name of. And but mainly that's southern area Kerala.
Southern India, which is Kerala. So your
Yeah.
grandparents live in Kerala. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you like coming here to Kerala?
Yeah, it's nice there actually.
Okay. All right, Ishan. So I am from you went to Gujarat, that was the western part, and I am from the eastern part of the country,
Oh.
which is West Bengal. Okay. It's in
Mhm.
the not extremely west eastern, but it's somewhere in the eastern part. Kolkata is also in the eastern state. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll be taking your biology sessions from today. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Ishan, tell me, what have you been taught as far till now? What I got is you were learning the chapter ecosystem.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you complete the chapter on ecosystem?
I'm not sure if it's exactly complete, but I can tell you where I'm up to.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me.
Okay. So
Which
currently,
book are you following, Ishan? Do you have any book?
Yeah, I do. I don't exactly read it because my school does not exactly like show it a lot, but the I can share you the book if yeah.
Is it the Insight Science?
Yeah, Insight Science.
Okay, okay. I got a PDF of that. I got the details of that. So you're following that book in your school.
Well, for year 9, yeah.
Okay. So did you go to school today?
Yeah.
And how was your day in the school?
Okay, so each day it's different subjects. There's six
Okay.
subjects in one day. Today I did not do science. I think I did it yesterday.
All
So
right.
so currently in school, we're doing like chemistry, but last term, which is like term is like 10 weeks. There's 4 terms in one year.
Okay. So this is your last term in grade 10.
Grade 9, and this is the
Grade 9,
third.
sorry. This is the third term. The
Yeah,
second term is over and you're having a third term.
yeah.
Okay. So let's move ahead with the same chapter. I went through the chapter and I found some portion of the chapter have is still left. So let's. Are you okay with? Should we complete that chapter or you want to start some new thing?
I'll just keep continuing with the chapter.
You want to skip the chapter?
I'll just keep continuing.
You want to keep continuing with this chapter. Okay. So let's start with the chapter. Now tell me, Ishan, what do you understand about an ecosystem? What do you know about an ecosystem? What do you
An e
understand from a food chain? Simple, let's come to a simple question. Give me an example of a food chain.
Okay. So the sun is like the source of all energy. It then goes
Yes.
to, for example, let's say grass.
Okay.
The grass is eaten by a rabbit.
So
The rabbit
how the energy from the sun goes to the grass, Ishan?
through like I guess you could say photosynthesis,
Okay. So
which
photosynthesis, what it does? What happens in photosynthesis?
it helps plants grow and
Okay.
produce.
So photosynthesis is actually a biochemical phenomena by which the sun's energy is trapped by a pigment present in the green plants. Do you know the
Yeah.
name of the pigment?
Um, no.
A very important pigment, Ishan,
Oh,
which is known as chlorophyll.
oh, chlorophyll.
Yes, it's known as chlorophyll. Okay, so
Yeah,
photosynthesis is very important phenomena because what it does is it prepares food for the plant.
yeah,
Okay. So yes, and then go ahead. What happens after that once the green grass?
yeah. Once the grass is growing, the rabbit, let's just say rabbit eats that. The rabbit will take in the energy, like it's like energy conversion. One energy goes to another source, but only like a small amount.
Only a
Then
small part. And you know what exactly that small part is? How, what percentage?
like 10%.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Only 10% of the energy from the grass level goes to the rabbit. Okay, so if the
yeah,
grass has made 1,000 calories of food, they have made 1,000 calories, then only 10% of 1,000. Okay, that is
100.
only that is only 100 calories will be transferred to the
Yeah,
rabbits. Okay.
yeah.
And then, yes, after rabbits.
Okay. Then after that, the rabbit get eaten by the fox. So then
Okay.
another, yeah, if you divide 10 calories goes to the fox. Let's just say.
Okay. Yeah. So
Um,
yes, very good, Ishan. So you know about a food chain that is a single way channel in which the energy gets transferred from the lowest trophic level. You can say the grass is the lowest trophic level. Okay, we call it a trophic level.
yeah,
From the lowest trophic level to the higher trophic levels. Like grass are the producers, then they produce the food, and then they are consumed by the primary consumers, which is the herbivores. Like it can be a rabbit, it can be a deer, it can be a grasshopper, it can be anything that is a purely herbivores. It can be a cow, it can be a goat. All the herbivores, they form the primary consumers. Okay. And then these herbivores, in their turn, when they are eaten by the carnivores, then they become the secondary consumers. which feed upon the primary consumers. So this way, a flow of energy and flow of food takes place in a single direction. Okay. So can a
Mhm.
food chain have two directions, Ishan?
Um, it can if there are like two consumers, if for one thing.
Yes,
So
but that makes a food web. Okay, like if there are two consumers, like you said, the rabbit can be eaten by a fox. It can be eaten by a tiger as well.
yeah.
Okay, so then there are two consumers. My question is, if you have your food chain starting from grass through the rabbit and ending in the fox, so
Mm-hmm.
is the flow possible in the opposite way also? Like,
Oh, rabbit eats the fox, and
yes, is this possible?
no, because the grass can't eat the rabbit.
No, yes. So always remember a food chain is always a unidirectional flow of energy and
Mhm.
unidirectional flow of the organisms as well. Okay, it cannot be two directional. You
Yeah,
can have different consumers at different levels. Okay, you can have rabbit, you can have grasshopper, you can have deer, you can have three consumers, primary consumers at the same trophic level, but you cannot make the direction opposite. Okay, the rabbit
yeah,
cannot eat the fox and the grass cannot eat the rabbit,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
well done, Isha. So I'm happy you are very clear with your concept. So now let's move ahead. Okay, you have finished with your nitrogen cycle, Ishan, with the biogeochemical cycles, right?
I think so. Is it?
Your ma'am last class, I just went through the video and you had done with nitrogen cycle and hydrogen and carbon cycle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ishan, today we will start. Are you able to see my screen, Ishan?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start today for 1st August, the chapter ecosystem, and we'll start with relationships among the organisms. Now,
Mm.
Ishan, an ecosystem means a system like if you're a family, okay?
Yeah.
How many people you have in your family, Ishan?
Um, for human beings, it's just four.
Okay, human beings are four and you have lot number of pets, is that?
Um, I guess you could say that.
Okay, so how many pets do you have?
Okay, one cat, one fish, another fish, and another fish.
Okay, so you have a lot of fishes as your pets, all right? And you have a cat as well. So, okay, you have a family of human beings, let's say. You have four
Mhm.
people and then you have four pets in your home, okay?
Yeah.
So your home is an ecosystem in which
Mm.
there are organisms. You are organisms of same species like human beings, and there are other species as well. You have a cat, maybe there could be a dog as well. There could be fishes as well. Now, tell me, Ishan, do you depend upon the other members in your ecosystem or do they depend upon you?
Um, well, do you mean by who gets the food?
Sorry.
Do you mean by who like makes the food or brings the food or something?
Okay. So yes. So in every ecosystem, you see that we are dependent upon other organisms,
Mm-hmm.
okay, to survive. Like you are dependent upon your parents, your father or your mother. Your parents are dependent upon you for some small works at your home or for
Yeah.
having a family bonding also. So there are relationships. Similarly, there are relationships in the ecosystem as well. In all the ecosystems, like you have studied about grassland ecosystem, the one that we discuss now, and then there are aquatic ecosystem. So since you have a lot of fishes, I'm sure you have an aquarium. And in your aquarium, you must be having very small fishes. Then there are some big fishes. Then there are some more bigger fishes in the ponds and lakes. If you go, there are even
Yeah.
more big fishes. So that system which is present in the lakes and ponds, that makes an aquatic ecosystem, a marine ecosystem. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so every ecosystem, there are organisms where they depend upon each other. And you can see here, Ishan, these relationships are of two types. You see this, Ishan? The
Mhm.
relationships are of two types. Okay. The first
Yeah.
one is the intraspecific relationship. Now, intraspecific relationship is a type of relationship which is seen between individuals of same species. Okay. Here,
Yeah.
the individuals belong to the same species. Now, what do you mean by same species, Ishan?
Same species could mean from like same type of like, okay, let's just say, yeah, like, oh no, species was what's what I'm gonna use,
Yeah,
but never
see,
mind.
species is a group of organisms that are
Yeah,
similar to each other and
yeah,
that
true,
can
though.
interbreed with each other. Okay.
Yeah,
So if human beings are a species, then human beings means only human beings. You cannot include chimpanzees, though chimpanzees are very close relatives to human
mm,
beings, but you
yeah,
cannot include chimpanzees in this species. Okay. Homo
mhm,
sapiens, that is the biological name for human beings. Okay. Homo
yeah,
sapiens. So we are the Homo sapiens, and this is a particular species. The cats, okay, the cats are a particular
yeah,
species. The crows are a particular species. Okay.
yeah,
So when the relationship is present between the same species, such a relationship is called intraspecific relationship. Okay.
yeah,
And the second one is interspecific. Now you see the just spell and swapping of the uh, alphabets here, intra and inter. Interspecific means the relationship between individuals of two different species. Okay, not the
mhm,
same species, right? So we'll learn about this in details today. Okay, so intraspecific, coming to the first one, Ishan.
yeah,
The first one is the intraspecific relationship, and the second one is interspecific relationship. So let's see about the first one. Now, first one, the first category, there are three types of relationships in intraspecific, which is the first one is known as the collaboration, second one is mating, and third one is competition.
yeah.
So what is collaboration, Ishan? Uh,
Collaboration.
Collaboration means now, see, when you are living in a family together, you can make very good results. Okay. If all of the family members they work towards same goal, then they can make good results. So that kind of relationship in which the organisms they help each other, they collaborate with each other, and they which helps them in the survival. Such kind of
Yeah,
relationship is called a collaboration. Like the examples, I'll tell you the example. Example is you must have seen the ants. Have
yeah,
you seen ants? So ants, they make a trail and walk in a
yeah,
single line, and this helps every ant to walk together so that they can reach to the food for the
mhm,
survival. What they need the food. Okay. So as
yeah,
an ant walks, it leaves a trail behind it, and the other ants can follow that trail. Okay. So this
mhm,
kind of relationship is called a collaboration. Okay. Not
yeah,
all the animals will show collaboration, Isha. Like a tiger. A tiger is happy to live alone. It does not need the help of any other animals. Okay. So a tiger, because it's the king of the forest, it's strong, it's powerful. It does not needs to collaborate with any other animals. Okay. But if
yeah,
you think of deer, so deer, usually the deer always they try to stay in packs. Okay. There are packs of deer or packs of wolves because they have to fight the predators. They need to fight with their enemies. So they try to live together so that the enemies will not easily attack them. Okay. So that kind
yeah,
of relationship is called a collaboration. You must have seen fishes, Ishan.
yeah,
Small fishes traveling in big groups. Very small
mhm,
fishes, but they travel in big
squeeze,
groups. And
yeah,
even
squeeze,
birds also, very small birds, but they travel in big groups. They fly in big groups. So this kind of, why they make this? Because they can confuse the enemies, the bigger fishes, that the bigger fishes gets confused that whether it's a group of fishes or whether it's some other big fish. So they and prey, the enemies, they get confused. I'll show you a video here, Ishan, how
okay.
collaboration happens in fishes.
Oh, also be aware the lighting inside this room is not the best.
Sorry, Ishan.
Be aware that the lighting inside this room is not the best. Like, it's like not the best.
Sorry, I did not get you, Ishan.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so the lighting inside this room is like very bad.
Okay, no problem, Ishan. I'm not finding any problem with the light. If you are finding, you can switch it off. Okay. So I'll
Cool.
share a video with you, Ishan, here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see a video related to this. Okay. Um, Let me share my screen. Huh?
Yeah.
So are you able to see my screen, Ishan?
Yeah, I see a colorful fox. Oh, now I see
Okay,
school of fish.
now there's a school of fish. Is this visible to you?
Yeah, I can see the video. It says school of fish.
Okay, it's a small video, not even of 1 minute. So you can see, just take this.
Mm-hmm.
See how the fishes, they travel in big.
Yeah.
See, these are big number of fishes and making such a big group. So they can confuse their enemies that there is a very big fish here and the enemies will not come close to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a collaboration. Even wolves also, you will see, Rishan, wolves, they are quite strong, but still they, while hunting, they go in groups because it is easier for them to hunt a prey in groups.
Mm-hmm.
Elephants, okay, elephants always live in their families so that they can fight the enemies or they can upcome the enemies, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So that is about collaboration. Okay, the second one is about mating. Now you understand, I hope you understand what is meant by mating, Ishan. So mating means the union of a female and a male to produce offspring. Okay, and this is necessary to maintain the survival of the species, because if this mating does not happen, then the species will die out. There will be no more animals, no more plants, no more human beings. Okay. So this
Mm-hmm.
is also an intra-specific relationship in which only the same species can interact with each other. Okay. This cannot happen between organisms of two different species. Okay. So an elephant and a lion, they cannot mate. Okay. An elephant can mate only with an elephant,
Yeah.
right? So this is another relationship which is also very important to keep the world of life going on. Okay?
Mm. Yeah.
Because if this ends, the entire life system that is present on the earth, it is going to end away. Okay? So that happens in flowers also, in plants also. I'm sure you must have read about this reproduction and species and all in your previous chapters. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that was about mating. And the third one is competition. I'll
Competition.
share
Is it
I'll share my screen again, Ishan.
okay? Is it about getting food?
Yes, Ishan?
Is competition about getting food or something?
Yes. So yes, competition is also a relationship. It's about getting food. It's about getting more resources. So if you have a garden in Ishan, do you have a garden at your home?
Yeah.
So if you have a garden, you must have, if you have planted seeds sometimes,
Yeah.
maybe your parents have planted, you must have seen that not all the seeds, they grow and become big plants. Few will grow into smaller plants and then die out. Few do not germinate at all. And few of them, they grow and become big plants. So this is
Yeah.
because they compete with each other for the same resources. And what are the resources? They
They
need
need. Yeah.
sunlight, they need water, they need carbon dioxide. All the resources are same. But for the
Uh,
same resources, when the species, they fight with each other or they compete with each other, then only few of them will survive and others will die out. So
yeah.
this kind of relationship is called competition.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a grassland, suppose there are many rabbits. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, few of them, they are able to run fast and find out the grass places where there is good grass and they consume the grasses. But there can be some rabbits in the same place which cannot run very fast or which have become older and they cannot find out grass for themselves. And eventually, these rabbits, which cannot compete with the other ones, they grow weak and they finally die out.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is competition. Okay, the competition word you clearly understand because you also in your schools or in your classrooms, you must be competing with the students. You know, the teachers coming to the classroom, the same teacher, they teach the same things. You have the same resources, but still some go and, you know, some go ahead and some they are big, they become average. This is competition. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ishan. So that's all about intra-specific relationship. Okay. I
Yeah.
hope that is clear with you, Ishan. You have this entire things in your books as well, along with examples. So you can go through your book also. Your book is also very good. So you can
Yeah.
just follow these notes, pick up from the book and make your own notes as well with
Yeah.
examples. Okay. Now, the second one is the interspecific relationship, Ishan.
Mhm.
Now, the interspecific relationship, it is the kind of relationship in which the animals belong to different species. Okay. The animals do not belong to the same species, they belong to different species. So here, the relationship can be of two types, Ishan.
Yeah.
Ishan, are you able to see the whole page now?
Yeah. I can see. Well, yeah, I can see. It's a detrimental relationship, interspecific relationship.
Okay,
So,
yes, that's what I wanted you to see. So just stay in tune with me because I'm not able to see you now. I have minimized the Teams window.
um,
Okay.
mhm.
So we
Yeah.
have two types of relationship. First one is the beneficial relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one is the beneficial relationship. Now the beneficial relationships are those in which the organisms, they get benefit from each other. Okay. And there
Hmm.
are three different categories here also. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the beneficial relationship.
Hmm.
There are three different categories, Ishan, here. Mutualism, symbiosis, and commensalism. So we'll learn about this in details. And the other one is detrimental. Now, this spelling is written typed wrongly, Ishan. It's detrimental, okay?
Yeah.
Detrimental, okay? It's not detrimental, it's detrimental.
Hmm.
The second one is a detrimental relationship, or you can say this is the harmful relationships, okay? In which the organisms, one of the organism is harmed, okay?
Hmm.
All right. So beneficial relationships are of three types: mutualism, symbiosis, and commensalism. So we'll learn about mutualism and symbiosis together, Ishan, because they are very similar to each other. Now, there are certain animals, organisms. Now, it can be plant animal also, Ishan. It can be animal, and it can be a plant animal also. Okay. So there is no compulsion that the animal should be of the same species. It can be a plant, it can be a plant animal, it can be a plant microorganism, it can be a fungi and a bacteria. So any kind of organisms can come into this kind of relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see here mutualism. You can see the examples in this picture over here. I'll just enlarge this picture. You see this picture, Ishan?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, Ishan, mutualism.
Hmm.
You can see here, mutualism is a type of symbiosis where two or more species benefit from each other. Okay. So a
Hmm.
type of relationship in which two or more species, they benefit from each other. Like you can see the examples here, Ishan. Uh, the first one is like the human and the gut bacteria. Now in our human intestine, we have innumerable number of bacteria, Ishan. Okay. So
Hmm.
how do we benefit from these bacteria?
Um, Let me check. Okay, so bacteria. I mean,
In,
if you have more bacteria on your body, the immune system could like help like deteriorate it.
sorry,
Like
Ishan.
if you have more like bacteria in the body, the immune system can help like deteriorate every single one of them. So like it could lead to a healthier body, I guess.
Yes, and one important function of the bacteria is it helps in digestion of the food, Ishan. The
Yeah.
gut bacteria, it helps in the digestion of the food. Okay, so that is one important function of the bacteria. And in turn, how do the bacteria benefit from human beings?
Um, for like providing them more like energy, not energy, but like food or oh
Yes. So the bacteria, the gut bacteria, which is present inside our gut, what they do, they take their nourishment from the human food. Okay. So small
yeah.
amount of nourishment, nutrition they will take from our food, and it is also a good place for them to stay. They find a good place for, they find a good home also. Okay. So in
Yeah.
this way, the bacteria benefits from the human beings, and the human beings are in turn helped by the bacteria for digestion of food. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Ishan?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how the gut bacteria helps the uh, animals. Okay, gut bacteria are also present in other animals also, Ishan, like cows. All the cows, they also have gut bacteria. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the second one, let's see another example also. I was trying to enlarge the picture, but I don't know what happened.
Huh. Don't worry, I can read from afar.
No, I was trying to enlarge it so that you can read it properly. I'll try to move it to a different place, Ishan. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And try to enlarge it. Now I think it should be clearer, Ishan.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see the second example is of bees and flowers. So bees, this is a very common phenomena. Bees, they take nectar from the flowers, and
Yeah.
the flowers in turn, how the bees help the flowers?
Um, okay. Oh wait, so how does the bees help the flowers?
Yes.
I guess it like helps them to replenish their nectar for other
But
bees.
no, but how does the flower get its help? Like in what way the flower is helped by the bees?
Uh,
Bees take nectar from the flower, that is their food. Okay. So
yeah.
bees have made their purpose. Now, what is the purpose of flower? Flower, what does it want from the bees?
Um,
The flowers are held for the process of pollination by bees, Ishan.
pollination.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
Mm,
flowers, when the bees enter into the flower, you know what happens? The flowers, they drop the pollen grain on the body of the bees. And when the bees move from one flower to other flower, on their way, they take the pollen and they help the pollination. The pollination is a way in which the pollen can be transferred from one flower to another flower, and that
yeah.
produces new plants. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So in this way, the flowers, they are held by the bees by a process of pollination. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So mutualism is one way of relationship, Ishan. There are more examples also. You can go through the examples in your book as well. Mutualism is one way of relationship. Okay. Now, other than mutualism, there is another relationship which is called the symbiosis. A
Yeah.
symbiosis is a relationship, Ishan, in which two animals of different, two plants, it can be two plants, it can be two different organisms. They benefit in each other in such a way that one cannot survive without the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a little more ahead of mutualism. Now, in mutualism, there is no risk of survival. Even if one is not present, the other will survive. But in
Yeah.
symbiosis, what will happen? If one of the organism is harmed, then the second one will not be able to survive. Okay. So the
Yeah.
best example for mutual symbiosis, Ishan, is is seen in leguminous plants. Now
Mm-hmm.
I'll just enlarge this video a little. Okay. So in symbiosis, Ishan, what happens? Two organisms, they stay together in such a way that if the other one is not present, then the second one will die out. It will not be able to survive. So that happens in case of lichens. You know what is a lichen, Ishan?
Um, is it the type of, oh, I think I know. So there, I have like a pond in the backyard. Um,
Yes,
so
Ishan?
and that is filled with like algae. And
Yes.
and I know a lot about like ponds and like stuff like amoeba, lichen.
Yes, 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 yes. It's correct, Ishan. So lichen is a organism which is
Yeah,
formed by a symbiotic relationship between an alga
yeah,
and a fungi. A fungi
and
and an algae, they live together and they form a lichen. Okay. So what
yeah,
is the role of the alga? The alga prepares food because it can photosynthesize. It prepares food for the fungi. And in turn, what fungi does? The fungi provides protection to the algae.
yeah,
Okay. So alga prepares food. It does photosynthesis. And the fungi provides protection to the alga, and so they stay together. Okay. So if
yeah,
algae dies out, the fungi cannot survive, and if fungi dies out, then the algae does not have any home for itself to survive. Okay. And similarly, there is another very good example of mutual relationship, which is seen in case of leguminous plants, Ishan. Now, you know
yeah.
what are leguminous plants?
Um, are they like legumes?
Yes, they are legumes. So there is a small picture I had brought from here, but I think I am not able to enlarge it. So you know what happens in leguminous plants, Ishan? In leguminous plants, the plants have roots. Okay.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
plants have roots.
yeah.
And in these roots of the plants, they have very small ball-like structures, which are called nodules.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Very small ball-like structures which are called nodules. And these plants, these nodules, they are a home to a very specific bacteria, which is known as a nitrobacter, which are the known as the rhizobium. All the kind of the bacteria named as rhizobium, it stays in these legumes. Okay,
yeah,
it stays in these pods here. Lot of innumerable number of bacteria. Now, what is the role of this bacteria, Ishan? The bacteria, this bacteria, it is very helpful in converting the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrites and nitrates.
yeah,
Okay. Now, this bacteria, it converts the atmosphere, the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, that is in the air, it converts this nitrogen into nitrites, that is NO2 minus, and nitrates, NO3 minus, and nitrites can be absorbed by the roots. The atmospheric nitrogen cannot be absorbed by the roots, but nitrites and nitrates can be absorbed by the roots in the form of salts. You know what are salts, Ishan?
yeah,
Okay, so the plants, they obtain nitrogen with the help of the bacteria, and the bacteria, they have a home for them in the roots of the plants. Okay, so such bacteria which help in converting nitrogen into nitrites and nitrates are called nitrogen fixation bacteria. Okay, such bacteria are known as nitrogen fixation bacteria, and see how they are benefiting from each other. So if the plant is not able to take nitrogen, it will die.
hmm, yeah,
Okay. And if
yeah,
the bacteria does not find the plants, or the plants are not available for the bacteria, then the bacteria will also not survive, because it cannot survive other than the pods. It can survive only in these nodules. Okay, so
yeah,
this is a characteristic only found in the legumes. Legumes are like pea plant, bean plant. These are the different types of leguminous plants. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a symbiotic relationship, Ishan. This
Yeah.
example is very important for explaining symbiotism. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are other examples also for symbiotic relationships like lichen. We have already learned about lichen, and ants and amphids. They also have some kind of symbiotic relationship, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's about symbiosis. Okay, Ishan, clear with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the
Mm,
third one in beneficial relationships is commensalism. Commensalism means, Ishan, a type of relationship in which one organism benefits the other, but it does not need the other organism. Okay. So like
mm-hmm.
this kind of relationship you'll see in the cattle and the birds. Okay. So in a cattle field, the cattle, they feed upon the grass, and as they feed upon the grass, what happens? They flush out many insects outside because they look put their head, poke their head into the grass, and in that process many insects, they come out of the grasses. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the birds that feed upon these insects, now they find the insects and they feed upon them. So the cattle is not the cattle has no role in this, but it helps the other animals, it helps the birds that feed upon the insects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that kind of relationship is called commensalism.
Yeah.
Ishan, any doubt?
So far, no.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
so I hope these things are quite clear. Then we'll come to the harmful relationships or the detrimental relationship. So you
Mm-hmm.
I think you will get it from the word terms itself, the predator-prey relationship. Can you explain the predator-prey relationship, Ishan?
Okay, so I'm guessing it's the relationship between a predator and its prey.
Yeah.
And they could be like well, the predator wants to kill the prey, so they will have like a negative relationship towards each
Yes,
other.
yes, yes. So that's the detrimental because the predator tries to kill the prey, and in that way what happens, the prey is harmed but the predator is benefited. So the predator, they get the benefit and the prey gets harmed. So you know, a lot of predator. Let's see a video also. I have kept
Yeah.
a video for you. Let's see this. So if you are very interested in watching Discovery or National Geographic channels, you must have
Mm-hmm.
seen this kind of videos, Ishan.
Yeah.
I think the video is not available as of now.
Yeah. Nice lavender field.
Okay, so you must have seen those videos, tigers and lions running behind the deers and they prey on them. So that's a predator-prey relationship. And this is a way of nature in which the carnivores, they feed upon the other carnivores or the herbivores. So that is how they benefit, but the loss is on the prey side. The prey loses its life. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one is parasitism. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Parasitism. Okay. Parasitism is another way. Uh, Ishan, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So we predator-prey relationship and then the parasitism. So there are many parasites, Ishan.
Yeah.
Parasites are small organisms. It can be a bacteria, it can be a virus, it can be a fungi, it can be a protozoan. They live in the animals, on the other animals, and they draw nutrition from the other animals. And in turn, they cause harm to the other organism. So
Yeah.
gradually, the animals, they may fall sick. Like if we have tapeworms or hookworms in our intestine, then gradually we fall sick, and in
Yeah.
extreme cases it can lead to death also.
Mm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's about parasitism. So we know about different parasites, like tapeworm is a parasite which lives in the human intestine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then malarial parasite, you have you heard about malarial parasite?
Does it have something to do with mosquitoes, malaria?
Yes, yes, like mosquito. Mosquito carries this parasite. It is a
Yeah.
vector and it carries this parasite and it causes malaria in human beings.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ishan, can you help me? Why am I not able to enlarge this picture? The one of the I could do this one, but I'm not able to do this.
Oh, maybe try to
Okay, I
show
think I can do it now. Yes. You can
this.
see this,
Okay.
Ishan?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you will be able to see that how the different parasites. So there is a tick and dog. Tick is
Yeah.
kind of parasite that lives in the that's no, it lives on the body of the dog. It does not live inside. A parasite, it can either live on the body or inside the body. Okay.
Yeah.
Then see hookworms and the humans. There are certain worms known as hookworms which live inside the human gut
Yeah.
and they take their nourishment from the human gut and they cause damage to our intestines also. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
And barnacles and whales. Barnacles are very small fishes that live on the body of whales. Okay.
Hmm.
Leeches. Now there are leeches that live inside the on that can stick to other animals.
Yeah.
Okay. And louse. If you know louse, the louse they live in the hair and they cause damage to our scalp.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all about different types of relationships among the different types of organisms. Ishan,
Yeah.
anything you want to ask, Ishan?
Um, Not really.
Not really. Okay, I'll. You can do one thing. You can take your textbook. Do you have your textbook with you?
Like a physical copy.
Yeah, a physical copy, a physical book.
I have it online now as a physical book.
Sorry,
I have it online.
you have an online book. Okay, so you can do one thing. You can just open the book, go through this part, what we have learned, and just take 5 minutes and 2 or 4 minutes, and just let me know if you find anything difficult which you're not able to understand.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think with this, your chapter on ecosystem ends.
Yeah.
This is the last section of your chapter.
Hmm.
Can you just go through your online book and just let me know, Ishan?
Okay.
Okay, Ishan, there
Yes.
is a few terms which you should be acquainted with. Okay,
Hmm.
the first one is population. What is a
Population. Yeah.
population, Ishan?
Population is the amount of one, let's just say species. Like there, it could be a ton or it could be a small amount of that species in that area.
Okay, so population is the group of organisms and belonging to same species or different species.
Yeah.
Should it be same?
Um,
Yes, it has to be
yeah.
same. A same species forms a population. Okay. So
Mhm.
that it could be less, as you said, like there could be less number of species, tigers in one jungle. There can be more number of tigers in a jungle. Like the population in some countries is very high, population in some countries is very less. So population has to be the same species. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after this, there's a term called dynamic equilibrium.
Oh.
Okay. So what do you understand? What should we understand? What we picture by dynamic equilibrium?
Dynamic equilibrium. I am not sure what that is.
See, Ishan, what happens is an equilibrium needs to be maintained. Equilibrium means balance. In generalized word, equilibrium means balance. Okay. So there should be
Mhm.
a balance of everything to maintain or for the continuation of an ecosystem, right? Now, suppose it's a grassland ecosystem. A grassland ecosystem comprises of grass eaten by grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are again eaten by, suppose, frogs. Okay. And
Mm.
frogs are eaten by snakes, right? Now, what happens in this ecosystem if suppose the grass, we cut the grass, okay? Now, what will happen if you cut the grass?
Um, if we cut the grass, then you could say, well, the population of one like species, let's say rabbits, okay, um, their main food source will like yeah, because I think not main food source, but one of their food sources will like go, so the population will like decrease.
Decrease, yes, because the rabbits or the grasshoppers who feed upon the grass, they will not find ample food, okay? So
Yeah,
their population will decrease, okay? Now, if suppose we catch all the grasshoppers, okay? And the population of grasshoppers decreases, then how is it going to affect the ecosystem?
um,
If
so the
the
population.
grasshoppers, yes, tell me, Ishan.
Oh, no, you continue. I was gonna say something else.
Okay. So see, suppose if the grasshoppers, their number decreases, then what will happen? The grasses will grow in huge amount. Okay. There will be a lot of grasses everywhere, right? And that will become home to various other small insects or various other microbes like the bacteria and the different kinds of microorganisms. So the number of microorganisms in that area will increase. Okay.
Yeah,
And also, if the grasshoppers are less, then the frogs, which are the next level, which are the next trophic level, they will not find ample food. And in turn, the population of frogs will also start decreasing. Okay.
yeah.
So there has to be a balance of all the organisms at different trophic levels to maintain the stability of the equilibrium. And this is called dynamic equilibrium. Okay. This is
Mhm.
called dynamic equilibrium. That is every trophic level. Like in a jungle, suppose there are 4 lions. Okay. Now,
Yeah,
if the forest department they decide that they will pick up 6 more lions from a zoo and they will leave them in the jungle,
yeah.
in this jungle, okay, of which we are talking about. Now, what is going to happen if there are 6 more lions in the jungle, Ishan?
Okay. So if there were six more lions in the jungle, the population of whatever it like whatever its prey is will decrease.
Yes. So 4 lions are feeding upon the deer or the other animals in that jungle. And if there are
Yeah,
10 total lions, then they will feed upon more number of deers or more number of, other animals, right? So the
yeah,
population of deers in that area will decrease. When the population of deer will decrease, what will happen, Ishan? The deer, they feed upon the grasses and the plants. So there will be
yeah.
huge growth of grasses and plants. Okay, a huge
Mm.
growth of plants and grasses means too much of microorganisms in that jungle, and that those microorganisms, what they can do, they can cause illness or they can cause they can cause sickness in other animals.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is why it's important to maintain the dynamic equilibrium of the ecosystem so that all the ecosystems, they keep running, they keep stable and they keep running smoothly. All right.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's all about ecosystem, Ishan. I think that ends your chapter. Then you have the checkpoints. The checkpoints are, I think, the question answer that you need to revise. You need to do that. And yes, Ishan,
Yeah.
we will also be having some homeworks. Okay.
Yeah.
The homeworks will be sent to you shortly. And
Mm-hmm.
you can complete these homeworks and you can submit your homeworks to me or whatever the link is given to you, and you'll
Yeah.
that will be good for you if you do the homeworks regularly.
Okay.
Okay, Ishan. So almost towards the end of the session. I hope you have liked the session, Ishan.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, Ishan. After the session ends, if you find a time for today or tomorrow, go through this entire chapter ecosystem once. Okay. Next session, I want if you have any kind of questions or any queries, come up with those queries. Okay. We'll do it together or we'll start a new, altogether a new lesson. Okay. So what's
Okay.
the new lesson, Ishan? Can you tell me? Because I don't have your curriculum. What
Uh,
should be the new lesson that should be taught to you?
okay, so currently in school we're doing chemistry, but like that's not exactly for biology, so I'll just let me check the rest. Okay.
No, so biology, you are taking chemistry session with some other teacher, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me know about biology. What should be your next chapter of biology?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so ecosystems is done. Um, I done plate tectonics with some other biology teacher in the past, but yeah. Um, maybe okay. I think body system and responses might be like
Body system and responses. Okay. Okay, so I have the PDF of the book. I'll go through that. And what are you learning in the school? Which chapter are you learning in the school now?
okay, if I'm relating to this book, then it's called the periodic table.
Periodic table will be taken by your chemistry teacher,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
I wanted to know about biology. Which chapter should we start next, Ishan? You tell me what chapter should we start next?
Okay. So okay, there's not a lot of biology type chapters inside this book. So I've already done plate tectonics. And we just done the ecosystems.
Okay.
Inside the atom and periodic table is chemistry, and then energy on the move is physics. So I think that only leaves out body system and responses.
Okay. So what we are going to do is next session we are going to start body systems. Okay.
Yeah,
So before that, you have 1 more week's time. Next Tuesday, we'll be having your session on life science. So you can
yeah,
go through the entire chapter of ecosystem, revise it well, and let me know any queries, and else we'll start our new chapter. Okay, on life
yeah.
systems. All right, Ishan. Thank you so much for being on the session, and have a good day or have a good evening. It's a good day here, and have a
Yeah,
good evening. Okay, and have a good week.
yeah, you too.
Okay. All right. Have a happy week and keep smiling. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.